Thousands of years ago, an unknown spaceship arrived on Earth, from which an alien descended. He stood near a waterfall and drank some kind of liquid. After that, his body began to melt, even his DNA disintegrated and dissolved. He then fell into the waterfall. His DNA mixed with the water, forming a new kind of DNA, and from there, the beginning of new life on Earth took place. After that, we see that in the year 2089, a team of archaeologists and scientists is exploring a cave in the hilly regions of Scotland. The team is led by Dr. Holloway and Dr. Shaw. Inside the cave, they discover a very ancient drawing, which depicts humans worshipping a giant humanoid creature. This human-like being is shown pointing towards a star constellation. The story then shifts 3 years later, to the year 2193, where a spaceship named Prometheus is heading toward the same star system that was depicted in the ancient drawing. On board are 17 crew members, all of whom are asleep in cryo-sleep chambers. Among them is an AI robot named David, who is responsible for taking care of everyone on the ship. Suddenly, the ship experiences a jolt, indicating that they have entered the atmosphere of a planet. When David looks out of the window, he sees a planet outside. He then proceeds to wake everyone up from their sleep. After waking up, everyone gathers in a hall where a hologram is displayed. In it, the founder of Wayland, Peter Wayland, appears. He explains the mission to everyone. First, he introduces Dr. Holloway and Dr. Shaw, appointing them as the leaders of the mission and entrusting them with full responsibility. Following that, Dr. Holloway shows everyone images from the archaeological excavations carried out on Earth. He explains that these images are from various ancient civilizations that were separated by hundreds of years and had no contact with one another. And yet, one common element appears in all of them: a giant alien figure pointing toward the same star system. Now, the star system that the creature was pointing to was so far from Earth that ancient civilizations could not have possibly known about it. That system has a sun, and orbiting that sun is a planet with 3 moons. One of those moons has an atmosphere similar to Earth's, and this morning, we have arrived at that very moon. Dr. Shaw then explains that the giant being shown in the ancient drawings is actually an alien, and it was these aliens who created human beings. In a way, they are our engineers. After that, both doctors are shown into a room with David, where he tells them that over the past 2 years, he has learned several ancient languages and is now capable of communicating with the aliens. Just as they are about to land on the planet, Dr. Holloway notices some structures built on the surface. They appear to be arranged in a straight line. He asks the captain to land the spaceship near them. The atmosphere of the place is very similar to Earth, although the levels of carbon dioxide are slightly higher. After landing, a team enters the structure. A geologist in the group mentions that the structure is hollow from the inside. Once inside, the geologist uses drones to create a map of the structure, which is then viewed by the captain and others aboard the spaceship. As they go deeper, Dr. Holloway observes that the level of carbon dioxide inside is much lower than outside. He removes his helmet, and seeing him, the rest of the team also take off their helmets. After that, David finds a switch with strange symbols on it. He runs his fingers across it, activating a 3D recording. In the recording, the aliens appear to be running in fear from something. Seeing this, the doctors and their team start chasing after the holographic projection. Suddenly, one of the aliens in the recording falls, and the door closes behind him, trapping him inside and leading to his death. Seeing the alien's body, one of the geologists becomes very frightened and decides to return to the spaceship along with a biologist. Meanwhile, through carbon dating, Dr. Shaw discovers that the alien has been dead for around 2,000 years. By that time, David successfully decodes the door's mechanism and opens it. As the door opens, they find the alien's head, a massive statue, and numerous urn-like objects scattered throughout the room. There are also many worm-like creatures crawling on the ground. Once the room is opened, the temperature inside begins to change, and black liquid starts oozing out from the urn-like containers. After that, Dr. Shaw takes the alien's head with her. Suddenly, the captain warns everyone that a massive storm is approaching, one that carries thousands of volts of lightning along with silicon particles. He instructs everyone to return to the spaceship immediately. They only have 15 minutes to get back. Meanwhile, David secretly takes one of the urns with him without informing anyone. After that, everyone rushes back toward the spaceship. Just as they're about to reach it, the alien's head slips from their hands. While trying to retrieve it, Dr. Shaw gets caught in the storm and is swept away. Dr. Holloway tries unsuccessfully to save her, but someone arrives and manages to rescue both of them, bringing them back to the spaceship. Once on board, they realize that the geologist and the biologist still haven't returned. They got lost inside the structure. The captain informs them that due to the storm, they will have to spend the night there. Meanwhile, the geologist and the biologist come across a pile of alien corpses inside the structure. Now, the doctors begin analyzing the alien's head. What they believe to be the alien's head turns out to actually be a helmet. When they remove the helmet and examine the head inside, they discover that it is infected with some kind of virus. In an attempt to learn more about this virus, they try to activate it, but before they can gather any useful information, the head suddenly explodes. Later, when they compare the aliens' DNA with human DNA, it matches, confirming that these beings are indeed the engineers who created humanity. Meanwhile, David opens the urn he had secretly taken and extracts the black liquid from it. He mixes it into a drink and gives it to Dr. Holloway, who unknowingly consumes it. Afterward, Dr. Holloway goes to Dr. Shaw. She tells him about the alien DNA, explaining that these beings are actually their ancestors. While sharing this, Dr. Shaw becomes a bit emotional, as she can never become a mother due to a medical condition. Dr. Holloway tries to comfort her, and the two become intimate. Meanwhile, inside the structure, the geologist and the biologist find their way back to the same room where the urns were kept. By now, the black liquid has spread throughout the room. Suddenly, a snake-like creature emerges from the black liquid. The biologist, curious, tries to touch it, but the creature attacks him, wrapping itself around his arm. In an attempt to help, the geologist cuts the creature, but its blood is like acid, and it burns him badly. The creature then enters the biologist's suit through the cut it made and kills him from the inside. On the other side, Dr. Holloway's condition begins to worsen. The storm has passed, but the geologist and biologist are still not responding to any of the captain's messages. So, the captain sets out at night with a team to bring them back. While everyone is searching for the two, David secretly goes off in another direction. There, he finds a room filled with more of the same urns. Beyond that, he discovers a chamber, the sleeping quarters of the aliens. Meanwhile, the captain and his team find the geologist's dead body, but the biologist's body is nowhere to be found. Dr. Holloway's health rapidly deteriorates, prompting the entire team to head back to the spaceship immediately. Meanwhile, in the chamber, David finds a 3D recording. From it, he learns that the aliens were preparing to return to Earth. Just then, the recording stops, and David realizes that one of the aliens is still alive in deep cryosleep. By the time they reach the spaceship, Dr. Holloway's condition has severely worsened. Fearing the spread of infection, the supervisor refuses to let him back inside the spaceship. Realizing he won't survive, Dr. Holloway walks toward her, asking her to kill him. As he approaches, the supervisor, seeing no other option, incinerates him with a flamethrower. Watching Holloway burn, Dr. Shaw screams in agony. The captain holds her back and gives her a sedative injection to calm her down. When Dr. Shaw regains consciousness, David informs her that she is pregnant, 3 months alone. Dr. Shaw is shocked to hear this, as she had only been intimate with Dr. Holloway about 10 hours ago. Moreover, she had been in deep sleep before that, and most importantly, she was medically unable to become a mother. Dr. Shaw pleads with David to remove it, but he tells her that the spaceship doesn't have the resources to perform such a procedure. David then sedates her. Later, when another doctor comes to place her into a cryo-sleep chamber, Shaw manages to push her away and escape. She rushes to the supervisor's medical pod and performs the surgery on herself, removing the alien creature from her womb and deactivating it. The captain receives a signal indicating that the geologist is standing outside the spaceship. When the crew members go out to check, they find that the geologist is horribly infected, and he viciously attacks them. He kills several crew members before the captain manages to fight him off and finally kills him. Meanwhile, Dr. Shaw, still on the run, reaches the chamber where Peter Weyland is sleeping in stasis. He had recently been awakened because he wanted to meet the engineer that David had discovered. In fact, Peter Weyland had funded the entire mission with the hope of meeting the engineers and asking them for the secret to immortality. Dr. Shaw also agrees to meet the engineer. Just then, the captain arrives and shares his theory that the structure they found is not actually the engineer's home, but rather a military base where they used to manufacture weapons. According to him, the black liquid is a biological weapon created by the engineers, which somehow went out of their control and ended up causing their deaths. The mission supervisor, who is actually Peter Weyland's daughter, is against meeting the engineer, as she believes he could be a threat to them. However, Peter refuses to listen to her. After that, the entire group proceeds to the engineer's cryo-sleep chamber. Meanwhile, the captain is analyzing the 3D map of the cave and realizes that the structure is actually a spaceship. David explains to everyone that the engineer was planning to go to Earth not to create new life, but to destroy all existing life there, especially humans. However, something went wrong before they could carry out their plan. David then proceeds to wake the engineer from deep sleep. Once awake, David speaks to him in his own language and asks how one can become immortal after old age. Suddenly, the engineer attacks David, violently ripping his head off. He then kills everyone present. Only Dr. Shaw manages to escape with her life. The engineer then prepares to launch the spaceship toward Earth in order to complete his unfinished mission. Outside, Dr. Shaw explains everything to the captain and tells him that they must stop the engineer's ship from reaching Earth. The captain initially says that it doesn't look like a warship, but Dr. Shaw insists that no matter what, they have to stop it. The captain then orders his team to activate the ship's main engine so they can launch their own ship like a bullet to intercept it. However, the mission supervisor objects and tells the captain that he won't do anything because that ship belongs to her. The captain responds by saying he'll leave her in a life chamber, where she can survive for up to 2 years. Hearing this, she runs off and locks herself inside the life chamber. The engineer's spaceship takes off. First, the captain detaches the supervisor's life chamber from the main ship and then crashes the spaceship at full speed into the engineer's ship. With a massive explosion, both ships fall to the ground. As the wreckage crashes down, it nearly crushes both the supervisor and Dr. Shaw. The supervisor is killed, but Dr. Shaw survives by sheltering behind a large rock. With only 2 minutes of oxygen left in her tank, Dr. Shaw somehow makes it back to the life chamber. But inside, she finds the same alien creature that had been removed from her womb, now fully grown. Suddenly, she hears David's voice over the radio. He warns her that the engineer is coming to kill her. Moments later, the engineer appears and attacks Dr. Shaw. In desperation, she opens the chamber where the alien creature is held, and it attacks the engineer. Amid the battle between the engineer and the alien creature, Dr. Shaw escapes and makes it outside. She breaks down, remembering Dr. Holloway, and begins to cry. Suddenly, she hears David's voice over the radio. He asks for her help and tells her that there are many other alien ships on the planet and he knows how to fly them. But Dr. Shaw tells him that she doesn't want to return to Earth. Instead, she wants to go to the place where the engineers came from because she wants to understand why they created humans and then try to destroy them. Dr. Shaw and David then set off together to travel to the home planet of the engineers. After they leave, a terrifying alien creature bursts out of the engineer's body. It lets out a loud, piercing scream, and with that, the story comes to an end.